This is speed math. No colors, no boring talk, no extraneous explanations. We're just going to solve the problem. Hi, I'm Bill Snodgrass, and in this world around us video, we're going to look at the grams to grams conversion, the stoichiometry, where you get a problem that says something effective. You got this many grams of something, and how many grams of this other thing do you need in order to completely react with nothing left over? I'm going to show you a method. I'm going to show you a method they probably do not use. They probably do not use this method at DuPont. But if you worked for DuPont, you probably are not watching this video. I've never worked for DuPont. I don't really know what method they use at DuPont. It's probably not this. Also, other professors, other teachers will have methods of doing grams to gram that is probably different from this. If they have taught you that method and you're watching this video, you're probably watching this video because that method is not working for you. So I'm going to show you a method that makes sense to me, and because it makes sense to me, I'm going to show it to you. Maybe it will help you to do gram to gram conversion. Step one is to begin with a balanced equation. I'm going to use water because water is very common, and the elements hydrogen and oxygen lend themselves to do this very easily. So we start with a balanced equation for water. Now this method is going to work no matter what the molecules are, no matter how they combine. So we start with the balanced equation, and that equation is I got H2 plus O2, and that's going to yield H2O. Now I need to put my coefficients in. So in order to get the 2 over here, this is going to become a coefficient of 2, and that's going to require a coefficient of 2 here. So step one is the balanced equation. Step one is the balanced equation. Somewhere along the way, the problem has told you how many grams of something that you have, how many grams of something that you have. And let's say we have, let's just say we have 0.75 grams of hydrogen. And then the question becomes, how many grams of oxygen do we need? So there's our question. How many grams of oxygen do we need? Step two, after we have done step one in balance the equation, is to grab these coefficients, because that's going to give us a recipe. So I'm grabbing these coefficients. So I've got the 2 and I've got the 1, and that's going to yield 2 oxygens. Sometimes you'll see the ratio, you'll see a colon in here. I'm going to put the yield symbol in just so we can differentiate between products and reactants. So here's our product. So I have 0.75 grams. Step 3 is to figure out how many moles of hydrogen we have. How many moles of hydrogen do we have? So we have 0.75 grams of hydrogen. Now this recipe is the ratio of whatever's. 2 atoms, 1 atom, 2 molecules, 1 molecule, 2 bazillion molecules, 1 bazillion molecule, 2 dozen molecules, 1 dozen molecules. That's how it works with moles. 2 moles, 1 mole, or whatever ratio of moles we have. Now, the grams to grams conversion relies on the fact that on the periodic table back here, wherever that is, the periodic table, the atomic mass is the grams of a mole of that atom, or so we have the atomic mass of hydrogen. The atomic mass of hydrogen, the atom, being 1, the atomic mass of hydrogen, the molecule, being 2. So what I like to do is I like to redo this equation, and I'm going to redo it. I'm going to do 2H2 plus O2 yields 2H2O, and I'm redoing it down here because I want to put my masses of the molecule underneath it. I want the mass in grams of the molecule. So for hydrogen, the molecule is 2 grams. The molecule of oxygen is 32 grams. And that makes the mass over here is 18. So I got 16 plus 2, so I got 18 grams. I'm really not working with the product, but I'm just for consistency's sake. So if I were to now figure out how many grams, how many moles I have, I'm going to take that 0.75 and I'm going to divide it by the mass of one molecule. So I have 0.75 grams. So I have 0.75 over 2. So I have 0.75 over 2 moles of the element. So here I'm going to put that in my calculator. 0.75 divided by, so it's grams to moles divide. I make my classes chant. Moles to grams, you multiply. Grams to moles, divide. Moles to grams, you multiply. Grams, 0.75 grams to moles, divide. Divide by 2. Equal sign. I have 0.375 moles. So I have 0.375 moles of hydrogen. Now I'm going to take this ratio. In order to find out how many moles of oxygen I need, I'm going to divide what I have by what I should have. I'm going to multiply the whole ratio by what I have divided by what I should have had. So I should have had 2. I should have had 2 moles. I have 0.375 moles. So I'm going to take 0.375 divided by 2, and I'm going to multiply that entire ratio by that. So that's going to be 2:1, 2. 0.375 divided by 2 times 2 is 0.375. No surprise there. 0.1875. And that is going to result in 0.375 moles of product. So now, 0.375 moles is what I started with of hydrogen. And now I need 0.1875 moles of oxygen. I'm going to do moles to grams, you multiply. Moles to grams, you multiply. So I'm going to take that 0.1875 times the 32 grams of oxygen that would represent 1 mole. So 0.1875 times 32 equals 6. I need 6 grams of oxygen. So the way that looks is 0.1875 moles of oxygen times 16 grams per mole. 16 grams per mole equals 6 grams. And there's my answer. I need 6 grams of oxygen to go with 0.75 grams of hydrogen. Because 2 grams goes with 32 grams. So if I divide that 0.2 by the, and get it down, the 0.75, I have less than I need, so I'm going to use less than. So, and then so it comes out. Step 1, balance equation. Step 2, find the ratio. Step 3, how many moles are you starting with? Step 4, multiply that by the ratio, and that's going to give you a new ratio. Take that number and multiply that number by the grams of what you are reacting, and that will give you the grams that you need. Check out a companion website, the World Around Us website. I'll put the link to my moles to grams article. I'll put that link down in the description. Go down there and check out that if you want to see this. Watch the video and follow along. This is how I do it. Get that recipe. How many moles do I have? Multiply. There you go. That's what you got. Hopefully this was helpful. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel, sign up for notifications, leave me a comment, question, or a suggestion. Go watch the whole playlist of science, physics, and chemistry videos that I have made. Also, yeah, check out all the other stuff on the channel. That is all. See you in the next video, or perhaps I will see you working one day, working for DuPont. I missed it. That's all.